Qlik Dork back again, and today's an exciting day for Dorkcast episode 14. I am going to be talking to a few of the guys from Cluster that provides NewHub. My first guest today is Andre, and I've got his LinkedIn information there. Go ahead and screen capture that, because I'm sure just moments into this, you're going to be like, man, I need to connect to this guy. So he's there. Andre, I got to ask you, buddy, that picture looks an awful lot like the Grand Canyon.
Well, it is, Dalton. That's right. We went hiking there last month 2 months ago now. It's June already. In April, right after Qlik World in
Nice.
Vegas. Yeah.
Took advantage
Yeah.
of that. Now, I got to tell you, buddy, I had an awful lot of respect for you, but seeing you that close to the edge, clearly I know you're crazy. That's about 1,000 feet closer to the
Yeah.
edge of the Grand Canyon than I
Yeah.
got. I am terrified of heights, so I wanted to take no chances, but I have no pictures like that either to show that I was there. It's just me and like a horizon, so nobody.
Yeah, well, maybe it's the camera, but there's still some safety net behind me there. Like it's not like you just I'm right on
I
top of
got
the
you. You
edge.
kind of use a little camera angle there to make it look like you're brave. All right.
Yeah.
Now all the respect I've had for you before stays. And Jonas, I've got happy to have you here. I see tech lead, senior software engineer. That sounds kind of like a dork thing to me. I've got utmost respect for tech people for sure. And again, I've got Jonas's information there. If you've never heard of Cluster and you have no idea what NewHub is, which I'm guessing you don't, that's why I brought these guys on the show. I want to show you the picture from their website that really got my attention. And it's easy to get to, newhub.com. Shouldn't be hard to remember that for you. And feel free, if you've got a multi-monitor setup like most people do these days, feel free to bring that up on another site and start taking a look at that while we're chatting. But what really caught my attention wasn't even just the beauty of it and the fact that you've got a really nice system. It was that little phone image, because the key thing that I've talked about forever about Qlik Sense is its responsiveness for mobile. There are way more people using their phone or a pad type of way to interface with the world than their desktop or even a laptop. And business answers and questions don't usually come up just sitting in a room where somebody's got it up on a giant screen. They come up standing at the elevator or in the lunchroom, and your hub allows them to maintain that same access to their data just through the hub. Is that right?
That's right, correct. So, and as you said, we solved the mobile question in Qlik Sense with this hub. So it's basically rendering a Qlik Sense application and with front web technologies, and just basically making it fit into an iPhone, into an Android phone, tablet, whatever. Super responsive, and also on top of that, we've thought a bit more about it, in that you can then select, or an admin can select, which objects to display on a mobile phone and which not, right? So that also the loading speeds are improved and optimized for mobile.
Fantastic. I like that idea. And when you say it allows you to interact, we've got you here, Jonas. I'm going to put you on the button right away. You're not just taking like pictures of charts. This is really Qlik Sense objects that end users can interact with, right?
Correct.
Oh boy, I'm going to make you show me that. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. If Andre or Jonas, if you want to share your screen, I know you've got a couple of slides to show. Let's go ahead and we'll jump to that, and then we're gonna see a demo of this stuff.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into the demo. Like a few words before that about us at Cluster. We're basically a Qlik technology partner, and we've been working with the front end and visualization part of Qlik Sense for about 7 years now, right? We started with QlikView. We know all about Qlik Sense on-prem, and now we do the same also on Qlik Cloud. On that end, then we basically focus on the UX and UI side of things. So we, in a nutshell, we make Qlik Sense look sexy, right? For people who are not dorks like us, Dalton, right? So people who are not used to working with data, they come to us to make Qlik Sense even more palatable to people who don't necessarily are used to working with data on their daily routines. So this ties into democratization of data,
Yep.
really getting the data-driven culture across people who would otherwise not do that or not have the time to do it. So C-levels love this approach. I love to give this example, like people from HR love this because they're not techie, and they go in and see a native Qlik Sense chart. While it's giving them really valuable data, they struggle with the UI and UX sometimes. Not only Qlik Sense, but also other tools have this. So we take that and we flip that that entire philosophy and say, like, okay, put the human first. How is the human interacting with this, right? So with that, we want to show you a little bit of how we've solved this and why we've solved it for clients, and then the product that we have, which is NewHub. You introduced it, right? I'm gonna start with the demo on the on-prem version.
Fantastic. Okay.
Right, and then we'll go into the SaaS version as well, because we're ready to go to SaaS. Right now, the tool is in beta, but let's go.
So any of my audience, you know, for the handful of people that might know the Qlik Dork and follow me, they may be QlikView, they may be Qlik Sense on-prem, they may be SaaS, they might have all
of them. Correct. Perfect.
And you've got everybody covered. You're not discriminating against allowing their data to look sexy.
No discrimination here. We love everybody the same.
I love it.
Yeah. So right here, I'm gonna log into my my on-prem setup here. This is basically for those of you who know and are clicky enough. You will notice that this URL pattern here is giving away that this is an extension inside an on-prem server.
Okay.
Right? So once you log in, you're presented with a different homepage. So we're trying to enhance or replace the native hub with something that makes sense to someone in HR, right? Who doesn't know Qlik Sense, or who doesn't really understand what the streams are, and would like to have more of an organization of subjects based on business sense and not so much a technical sense, right? So from then on, this product came to life about 4 years ago. Its first iteration was simply a bunch of groups here that the client could customize on their own, and then opening native Qlik Sense charts inside here. From there, we have evolved this.
So what am I looking at here on your hub? Are each of these just different charts in the same app, or
no, these are different apps. So it's aiming to provide an executive summary of each application. So this would be an electronics division application, consumer sales, and CRM. 3 different applications, right?
So wait a second. Are you trying to tell me that executives and others don't have to go to a hub, don't have to find the right space?
Correct.
And find the right app? They get to see the key metrics across their organization.
Correct. Across their organization.
That's crazy.
So they don't have to go in here into the consumer sales app to look for this very useful chart. Let's assume this is the key metric that they want to see every morning while they're having coffee and reading the newspaper. It's all right here in one.
And I saw you hovering over there. You're seeing our pop-ups.
Yeah.
This really isn't just a picture.
No,
You're
this
really
is
letting them
interacting
interact.
with the application. Each application has now a connection
Okay,
open in the background. We keep that open here, and then it's reading data live from the Qlik Sense app, right?
that's
Once you go
fantastic.
inside, then you'll have the details that you need about, go and work your actual sheet or application itself, right? So we've done that, also modifying the look and feel of Qlik Sense.
Yep.
Why? Because we want to put the human first, right? That means the most used. So we went in and interviewed a bunch of people before even developing this. So we went in, interviewed them about how they use Qlik Sense and what they find most useful in each case. And it turned out that what they really struggled the most with was the menu for the sheets,
Right.
which we've reassessed and replaced, not replaced, but rearranged on the screen to be on a, like, looking more like a natural web application that someone who is not
Yep.
tech savvy would know how to use, and the filters, right? Also thinking about the dorks like us,
Yep.
meaning we would be placing filters as master items, configuring only once without having to configure filters on each and every single new sheet that an analyst would be doing. So
Right.
one universal configuration for filters, and they would be placed here on this filter menu, and this sort of like summary of the most important filters. This
Okay.
type of
So let's
things
say that
would,
I've got
would be.
500 filters in my app. How
Yeah.
do I let you know which of those filters should be shown?
Okay. This is more of a, iterative process with your end user. You would need to go and see, okay, no one's gonna really pay attention to 500 filters. You need to understand
Correct.
from your end user what they're actually really using. So you're gonna drill down that 500 list to something palatable and something that a human mind can comprehend in a
Right.
reasonable amount of time, right? So I would say pick 10 filters, your 10 most used filters, save them as master items, and really think about that before, like, cluttering the screen of your end user.
So,
Yeah.
so does that mean, Jonas, is what's happening, any filter that's a master item gets listed automatically in the app, or is there something else the developer needs to do?
Yes, correct.
Cool.
So just we're trying to make it as seamless as possible, both for the end user and also for the analyst, right? The same philosophy then applies to when you are going to display this here on a mobile phone. There is an admin panel that is going to be basically the brains of the whole thing. So
Okay.
this other extension here, right? We're all talking on-prem now, but then we'll switch over to
Yep.
Qlik Cloud in a second. This whole thing here manages the connection between the front end here, which is what the end user is going to see. Then, depending on each client's configuration and size, it would make sense to have one or a handful of administrators here administering this content, and then this ties in the front end with the QMC in the background, right?
Okay.
So what you're doing here, we're creating groups and subgroups, but then what they essentially are, they are custom properties that we're saving in the QMC, right? And
Nice.
then we're
Okay,
reading
so you're
them on the
providing
other
a
side.
nice visual interface.
Yeah.
And then using the native Qlik Sense stuff.
Correct.
Cool. Okay.
Then correct. So we we built all of this based on the powerful APIs that you guys at Qlik have, right? With the end user in mind. So we're taking all of those APIs and really squeezing them out to get to a point where the end user sees here, wow, this is performatic and this is looking nice, and I'm not getting lost in my application.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Correct. So from there on, this version, the on-prem version, now we are in the process, very successful process of bringing all of this features and work that we've done over the past 4 years to bring this product to life over to the cloud, right? So Qlik Cloud, that's the future. That's where we all want to be, right? So this white label solution for clickers. Oh, one more thing. You mentioned QlikView. I almost forgot about this. The beauty of this is that you can not only like put in Qlik Sense content here, be it like an automatic mashup, or right now I'm opening up a native Qlik Sense application. So it's up to you if you want to use it natively or in the mashup mode that we had, right? So you can do that. You can also link QlikView, legacy QlikView things here if you really need to. It's possible to configure that, and the list goes on, right?
Very cool. I
Right.
imagine that customers are super excited to be able to
Correct. It's very flexible. It's like
have a
a
single hub
Swiss
that
Army
shows both.
knife.
Yep.
Like picture it as a Swiss Army knife. You have a knife in there, you have scissors, you can have a toothpick, right? And then you can customize all of that here to fit that need, right? For each client has a different configuration, and that was designed to be that way. So
So
that
when you
flexibility is
mentioned
there.
white label, what did you
Yep.
mean by white label?
I mean, we can change the entire look and feel of the hub to make it look like your corporate branding, right? Right now we have our logo and it's labeled as cluster. Let's go over to the SaaS version here, and let's change this to a configuration that gets me a branding with, let's say, your Qlik logo, for example. So let me open this up and get Qlik logo here. So I just changed that here to be a Qlik branded theme. And I'm going to change something very subtle, but very powerful, which is the green, right?
Okay.
So now
I love it.
I have a Qlik hub.
How's that, Dalton? Wow. So if I had like a dork icon, I could have a Qlik Dork branded hub.
Exactly. Just like you did
sell that
at
for
Qlik
like
World.
millions of dollars, man.
Yeah, just like you did at Qlik World. You placed your very nice cathedral here as a background, and then all your apps were ringing bells. It was awesome. So now here the Qlik SaaS version, it's currently running the beta testing phase of the product. So we're gathering as much input as possible from clients. So if you're interested, really, I encourage you to go here to this URL here, and you can register your tenant as a Qlik admin tenant, and start playing around with this. What we're looking at this point is gather as much feedback from the market as possible to feed into our roadmap, right? So we want to make the product as closely and tidy development to the actual needs of end users. So we want everyone testing this at this point, right?
Okay.
You'll find
documentation. So if they
documentations.
want to do that, then how would they actually get charts to show
in
these
here.
menus?
Yeah, let's go and get that sorted out. So I have 3 apps already configured to be displayed on the homepage, right? Similar to what we saw on the other side. If you're a Qlik Sense admin or admin on that tenant, you will see here on your once you log in, you'll have a configuration tab, and we'll go here, right? You can configure the colors and logos as we did now, right?
Right.
But now what we're going to do is something different. We'll go to the homepage tab, right? This is going to grow incrementally over time with other configurations. So we're migrating all the configs that we have on the on-prem version over to here. That takes a little bit of time. Right now, we have a limited functionality in that we can only do, for example, put in new cards. So I'm going to get a few more apps in here. So for example, a few demo apps, the pharma, sales, and the SAP, right? So that's starting to populate these cards here, right? So that means then I can then rearrange them and get a sense of what's most important and what's not so
now, is this
important.
arrangement, is this going to be out of the box for every end user, or can users change their own and manipulate what the cards would be shown?
Right. At this point, only the admin could do that, or maybe the end user too. I'm not sure. Jonas, do you have the answer? I can't remember.
Just the tenant admins can do that.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's what I thought.
they're creating a hub look for all users
for all users, yes, at this stage, at this early stage. But then probably we're gonna have that ability for the end user as well, because we've seen that, and clients that are on the on-prem version wanted that, and I foresee that being also the case here. So that probably is going to be developed at some point in the roadmap, right? Something that's new for you, Dalton, that you didn't see at Qlik World is this here, right? We're now, as admins, we're able to emulate different screen sizes and start arranging these objects for laptops, for tablets, and for cell phones, right? All in one place, right? So this is, if the on-prem was easy, this is like 1 order or 10 orders of magnitude easier, even for the
that's nice.
This is so, yeah. So just a sneak peek of what's coming, and what the flexibility we have now on cloud for development is also larger. We have more control over what we can achieve with different configurations here, right? So that's a positive for everyone. And then from there, this beta is going to be displaying basically the same philosophy that we had on the other product, which is putting the human first. Now, it might be that I was logged out, and now it's struggling a bit. Let me just check that. Yeah, of course, I was logged out, so I need to log in again. So you're seeing now, I'm gonna log into my account on our tenant, and it's gonna.
And so that's an interesting thing that I see there. You are popping up the Qlik login. How does this security integrated?
Okay, this is a backend security thing. Maybe Jonas, you want to take that a little bit, and I can complement.
Yes, basically you use the Qlik authentication. So when the user disconnect from Qlik, the user should be guarantee the Qlik authentication is alive in.
But how do you connect then to authentication? Is there anything from a security you do in SaaS to enable that to happen?
Okay. Okay, in the background, you use the OAuth authentication from Qlik. So we don't need authentication in our backend. We use the same authentication from Qlik, and when the user logs in the NewHub SaaS, automatically the Qlik authentication occurs. So the backend they validate this access token, the token, and make the session to the user able to connect on the database or something like this.
So from the tenant admin side, are you creating an OAuth 2 in the Qlik Sense SaaS tenant, or are you creating an API token for the developer from the Sense side of things?
I don't understood exactly the question. Sorry.
So in order to talk to the Qlik tenant, you would need some security. Do you define for the developer who's going to be doing this? Do you define an OAuth 2 at the Qlik hub, or the Qlik admin panel, or do you define API tokens for them?
Okay. You're using the OAuth 2. Basically, before the Qlik World, the users should be defining the access the Qlik client ID.
Okay.
But now the client ID is hidden to the user. Basically, the user must fill the input with the tenant. So it's easier. It's very easy.
Great.
Okay. It's basically an OAuth authentication. So we use that on the Qlik size tenant, right?
Okay.
That's in a nutshell.
So now that you're actually logged in through Qlik, you're able to see the charts. How did it know which charts to show for each of these cards that you have?
Okay, so this is a configuration that we do on, or the admin would need to do on each application. So we would then go to SAP procurement app, for example, and start and use specific tags that we've created for this. Then NewHub reads those tags and then understands, okay, I'm gonna have this tag placed in here. Let's go and do an example of that. Let me just go over to my tenant.
And so while you're doing that, what you mean by tagging, you're not doing anything out of the ordinary. You're simply utilizing the tags that Qlik Cloud already provides for SaaS.
Correct. That's right. That's right. So here, let's see, we would need the pharma sales. I'm gonna open that app. And then the tag, once you open the app, let's get the brand's performance here, right? You see from here, I already put this here and this here, right?
Right.
Let's go with this chart, right? So let's duplicate and edit. That means I'm in here. I think I need to go into the advanced options. Fine. Here we go. And then from here, I am going to, do I need to add it as a master item, Jonas? No, just here. It's on the general. We have, out, guys, on sorting.
You have to create a master item and setting up a tag.
Okay, so I'm adding the master item, brand sales over time. So this is now going to be the master item here, right? And I am going to create a tag for this, right? A tag that comes here, tag, and the
Okay.
tag is NH. Any tag that we use for NewHub is going to have the prefix NH for NewHub,
Okay.
right? And this is going to be self-explanatory NH card.
That
That's
makes sense.
right. So that
Yep.
is going to tell, once I save this NH card tag,
Andrews,
yeah,
sorry,
has to
uppercase,
be
please.
uppercase, everything
Yeah.
uppercase. Okay, NH card uppercase. So now that it's saved, right? NewHub reads these tags and it understands, okay, NH card, I need to bring this object over to this card here, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna save, stop editing. There we go. I might need to make public. There we go. And now if I scroll down, you see the object right here.
Wow.
Right? No code, no fancy stuff, no like brain wrenching code to be done here, just a simple click. The same
Now,
philosophy.
the reason that I wanted you to drive into the tagging,
yeah,
was because the next question would be, I'm the app admin or whatever. I need to know what things are tagged. The wonderful thing about Qlik tagging is I could just search when I'm looking at it. I can search and say, show me anything that's tagged with NH card.
Correct.
And boom,
and then
it's
you
going to
have
show
it
me the 3 master visuals
correct
in that application, and that's easy for me to find.
Correct.
Right? So that's kind of why I was taking you down that path.
Again, that's why we're also making life easier for the admins, right? In that sense, like you configure a few things here with tags, and then you're gonna have things showing up on the homepage. The same philosophy is going to apply to filters, right?
So is there a tagging in SAS that you then use to decide what filters to show?
Yes, NH filter is going to be the tag for
makes sense.
for
Okay.
this. So this app, for example, it's a virgin app in that I haven't configured any filters, right? So right now, my NewHub SaaS is telling me the step-by-step of what I need to do to create that NH filter, right? So let's go ahead and put one in there. Right, so I'm gonna go to that application natively. This one is the SAP procurement, right? So let's go here and open that app on the tenant, and let's put a filter in there. This one here. But I hope you get the idea. It's basically the same the same feature, right?
Yep. And again, by doing that, you're making life easy for yourself. Because you can easily search and find any of those.
Correct. So this here would be saving it as, oh, this is already saved as a master item. Fair enough. Default state. Visualization, sorry. Let's try filter box here, right? Edit. And we'll put a NH filter in here.
Love it.
Right?
Okay.
Same thing. You save it. Make it public. And then you would have the filter show up here, right? I'm going into uncharted territory here because I just figured that I placed a very large item in here. It might not, since it's the beta, it might not be styled with CSS yet, but we'll see the result in a second. So let's open up the filters here. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It has all the filters here, and we only did it once. Great.
Very cool.
Oof, I was sweating a little bit there.
And what other kind of things can we do in configuration?
In configuration,
can you have a background or anything for your homepage?
You can. So what you can do here, you can place a custom background. Let me just get one of those. very quickly here for us. Something like I'm downloading something from the web for it.
You don't have my
Because
cathedral image already
I
downloaded?
don't. You didn't
Thing?
send it beforehand.
Oh man, I'm
Right?
gonna have to email you my data cathedral. You should be working in it every day.
Yeah. Let's see. Save image. And here we go. So now I'm gonna bring over, just drag and drop from my downloads folder. Drag and drop here. Whoops, not a valid format. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Ding, ding. There. Save image again. Now in a PNG format. And now downloads folder. Where do you go? Here. Trying to get this one in here. There.
Okay.
Save
Cool.
changes. Now I have a subtle background in there, and we can open an application which is going then to give us, you know, that looks kind of nice for a on the spot pressure there, Dalton. So.
Yeah, that looks nice. That looks really nice.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the result of the work that we do. We're trying to make Qlik Sense look sexy and usable for everyone, regardless of whether they're dorks like us or just regular mom and dads that don't know much about technology. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So who are mainly the types of customers that you have now?
It's a mix. There's since this is not this is very general, we can cross across or we could cut across many verticals. So banking sector, insurance, transportation, logistics, you name it. And OEMs find this very, very useful as well. Both OEMs that are using on-prem or OEMs that are migrating to the cloud, they find great value in our tool, because then they can leverage Qlik Sense and the actual powerfulness of the associative engine. That's in my opinion the core and of the strength of Qlik. But then OEMs, then they need to brand their own solutions and have them exposed to the to a grander audience. So then the ability for them to white label that here, that's key. Yeah.
Now I would imagine, and I would imagine because I've already imagined in preparation for Qlik World.
Yeah.
Like you just pulled this background out of the thin blue air.
Yeah.
If you're an OEM and you are redistributing Qlik Sense, or you're a customer who's going to do this, you could very intentionally not only choose the background, but you could choose the style sheets and create custom style sheets
anything
that are going to
you
make it look
really
even
want,
sexier on
even
top
sexier.
of sexy.
Yeah. Right now we have, for the beta, we focused on the features with most impact and lowest effort. So this is just the beginning. It's possible to change the font family as well for them. Let me just do a few iterations here, right? It's subtle changes, but they do matter when you're actually branding stuff, right? So that's where this is heading, right? To give those OEMs and those Qlik clients that ability and that flexibility to.
And you've got a light theme and a dark theme as well.
Yes, we can. Let's go dark, right there, right? So now this is, of course, the background is not congruent with a dark theme. I would have to go and look for another one.
But that's
you get the
where
idea.
that's why I mentioned, like, if you want to have light or dark, you can combine these things with what you're doing natively in Qlik Sense.
That's right.
You could have a dark background theme for Sense.
Yeah.
That is see-through as well. And then have a dark background image. Something that's super, super sexy.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. There
Very
is,
cool.
let me just, this reminded me of a very cool feature that we have on a demo on-prem. But this one is, I need to check the URL for it. It's a very psychedelic rendition.
Nice.
It was synth wave style. Let me see if I can find it.
While you're looking that up, I've seen a lot of synthwave styles in generative AI art lately. I do a lot of art. My Data Cathedral image came from me generating images, and synthwave is a big prompt term these days. You know, for those young, hot, and cool, fashionable people.
Yeah.
So that works out well. And so for on-prem, done, shrink wrapped, you guys are good to go there. For the SaaS,
for the SaaS, we have,
customers could use it if they want, right?
They can. So this is the synthwave version. Ta-da!
So you've got a background that's like a GIF.
Yep.
And moving. Yep.
Yep.
Very
and then
cool.
Just for fun, we threw some tunes in here as well. This was fun to do.
So you can have in the hub, you can have a little link, like an HTML link to something like Spotify there or something. Is that what that is?
You can, yeah. We can do that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is sexy. That
yeah. This was
I'm wearing a giant bow tie. So bear with me. I love data, and that is definitely sexy.
Yeah, it looks good,
right? That's the money maker right there.
Yeah. So the on-prem here, that's ready to go. Ready. It's been on the market for 4 years, and then the let's go for this one
now,
here.
Can potential users download the extension and have a trial for it?
Absolutely. So you can download the extension for the on-prem from newhub.com here.
Okay.
You'll just go.
And how long would they get in order to play with that?
It's a limited license to 5 users initially, and 30 days, right? That's usually enough time to get familiar with the tool, configure, have a few sessions to structure a POC, proof of concept, and then from there determine whether it makes sense for the company to engage with NewHub or not, right? So that's usually the starting point. So if you want and you're interested, come in contact, just drop me a line, me or Jonas, and we'll be happy to assist you with the setup.
Very cool. And for Qlik Cloud, it looks like you just got a button right there, right on your main splash page.
Yeah.
That somebody could click that. And for that, really, they're just going to app.newhub.com.
Correct.
And then they would be prompted to put in a configuration for what their tenant is. And
Correct.
Is there documentation then as to what security they have to set up on their tenant for it to work?
There is documentation is here, this docs document. So note this URL, It's open on the web, and this will give you information about the beta, the types of information we collect, what we don't collect, which is pretty much everything. We don't collect data, or we don't store data on our servers. We just do the connection to the Qlik Sense tenant, and then how to get started on initial configurations, how to set up apps, you know, the tenants. There's a limitation currently. We only have access to EU and US tenants as
Okay.
regions, right? Asia Pacific will come, but that's still in the works. And that's that, I guess.
Too easy.
Very easy. Yes. We want life to be easy, right, Dalton?
Yes.
All right.
And you notice, so again, I want to make sure that people understand they are safe with this.
They are. They
You
are.
put the tenant in, you're logging in through Qlik. You're not saving, you're not handing Cluster your password for your tenant admin.
No, this is
You're
all
going through Qlik security.
correct.
You're good to go.
Oh, exactly. This is just like for it to know that which tenant it's connecting to.
Right.
That's it. And then everything else stays on the Qlik Cloud. Yeah.
Very good. Well, before we go, what plans do you guys have for the summer?
Oh, well, that's a good good segue. I am actually, it's my birthday next week on the 9th. So I'm taking a few days off, and we're going over to Cartagena in Colombia on the Caribbean coast with my wife and my 1-year-old. It's his first time going to the ocean, so it's exciting. I don't know what to expect. I'm a first-time parent, so it's the first time we're going to the beach with the kid, and I'm kind of freaking out what to do in that situation. Yeah.
Nice. Very good. Yeah, you gotta be safe for sure.
Yeah.
How about
What about you, Jonas?
Do you have any big plans for summer?
Probably in the end of this month, I'm going to the Brasilia, the city that I was living for let me know, I think the 5-10 years ago. But I think basically that's it. I will visit my buddies and my some familiars, and I think that's it. It's a very simple plan, but it's important for me.
Nice. And that's I don't know if you already know him. One of my colleagues that I work closely with is Clever Enos, and Clever lives in Brasilia. So maybe you guys can connect, have some picana together or something like that, or enjoy some of his family's Brazilian coffee or something like that. I don't have any exciting plans like that. I'm a grandparent for 7, and so our summers usually consist of each of the grandkids gets to come over for a weekend, and we just spoil them rotten.
Good.
Their parents allow us one time a year to have them to spoil rotten. It usually lasts them almost until the next year. So that's my big summer plans. Andre and Jonas, I really appreciate it. I think
this was fun.
I'm not kidding. I really do believe that what you guys do is make the data even sexier. I think data is just sexy to begin with, but you make it even sexier to appeal to those who are going to be the decision makers.
Correct.
And the ones that are going to be taking action on it. And I think that more often than not, we don't get the kind of adoption that we think we will after, we spend months or a year preparing data, putting it through data quality, governing it, grabbing metadata. We build an app, but nobody's using it. Because
that's normal, right? Because we're trained to think as engineers. I'm also a software engineer that then backtracked to the design and actual physical architecture type of things, right? And so you have to untrain the engineer to think like a designer, and that's what we do. And and it's okay if on the first iteration it doesn't work, as long as we know, or as long as there's people like us really reminding the dorks of what's the purpose of the cathedral, right?
Yep, exactly. And that's
right here.
nice. Nice. You got one of my bricks.
I know. Yeah. It's sitting here on my desk.
Nice. I love it. So,
Yep.
and that's not to knock Sense. It's not to knock the hub. I've been a long time. I've been a dork before I was with Qlik in QlikView. Bit was a dork with Qlik Sense. Followed it all the way through, but it is really about that democratization. When we're asking the non-computery people to take advantage of that data, and we're expanding our use cases to really fit the whole family of people in the organization, and we're expanding through data literacy programs, we need to make it a little bit sexier to what they're used to for how they already interact with data elsewhere in the world. And I think you guys help them do an awful lot. So appreciate your time. Hope you guys do have a phenomenal summer.
Same to you,
I get to spoil kids, which is one of my favorite things to do. So
good. Enjoy
you guys have a great day. And for everybody watching, hope you have a great day. Be sure to go check out NewHub.com.